Go into the schedule. Let people know that things be going down. Da, 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 da. Throw an ignore me in, why not? Just so people understand the gist of things. I want them to ignore me, so we can throw an ignore me in, and see just how much people will listen. Finally, to ignore me. No, please don't ignore me. I need attention 24 hours a day. Hey guys, what's going on? We're here in the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5DARPS room. Just going to do some work and talk about some different things, and mainly just to stream because we can't have Avatar tonight, so might as well do something. Let's go ahead and make the thing be able to be seen. How and we'll show like the full like area around here. Like we'll show these things. We'll show things over here. Like there's nothing really to hide as far as things are going. This is the very base parts of the 5DARPS room. I haven't put anything in here to kind of decorate it or anything yet. I've mostly just kind of got a background and like I brought this thing from the old 5DARPS or from the old DARP room, like the old table. This is the exact size of the old table, and that makes me like, look at this. Look at how much more space we need now for games. And like this used to be the table that they put all of everything on, where we had all of like our like things for the things for DARP and stuff. This was the table. This is where we had all of like these on. We didn't need any space other than this, guys. This was max space. I think that's hilarious because like everything was smaller back then. We just had these and they were smaller. We didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, I mostly came in here just so I could do some work. Where is the 5DARP sacrifice space? Well, we haven't made it yet, but we do have the black hole device, so we can actually sacrifice things now. Maybe we'll see if we can change up the images on the black hole device to turn it into a volcano or something. Maybe that'd be funny. But right now we just have the rooms for like the different, like we have like the how like people would like put their things down, like give enough space for like all their stuff. We have the calculators, which have changed up a little bit from the designs that I had for them before. But you would just type in 8,000. We'll say we'll probably be doing 4,000, but you know, type in 8,000 here, and then it's like, oh, we took health. Oh wait, no, that's minus. Oh geez, they're all minuses. I need to put pluses. I thought I did have pluses. I'm an idiot. Minus. I thought I had pluses here. I guess they're all minuses right now. Did I change that? Custom should be in Yu-Gi-Oh! Assets. No, it's all negatives. Ah, geez. I'm glad that I noticed that. That's funny. That's hilarious. But yeah, the ones on the right are actually supposed to have pluses. So let's like, these are like your normal, like, oh, deal 500 points of damage, you heal 500 points, do the different things, 100 points, 50 points. And for those certain cards that are we don't like to talk about, tens. That's for stuff like Reaper of Cards and things like that, which are for some reason have like in the 10 spaces for their stuff, just to aggravate people. You only lose life points, you don't gain life points. That sounds like a really fun spirit ability to throw into the game. Like just have it be like, oh, in this duel nobody can gain life points. And it's like, oh, thanks, bad reaction deck. I thought you weren't supposed to be here. You mean a BS one? Exactly. You think we're gonna have a DARP game without there being BS like tactics in it? Come on. So the main thing I'm gonna be doing today is taking all of the starter deck cards that I've approved, because I have like a not approved thing. I have like an approved thing. complicated cards are set up over through here. I basically want to take all of these and put the new card backs on them, because our card backs are going to be these, which are the ones that I made. So we are going to be basically having to do all that, and it's very time consuming, um, because I've already gone through each of these decks and made the stuff, like I took out all the problematic cards from them, and put them like away. But because I didn't have the backs on them at the time, I gotta go through and do all that again. So it's just time consuming. I just wanted to kind of jump in and have a reason to kind of do it. We may or may not actually do any of that right now. It's just mostly just be like, hey, this is where most of just the monotony, what's the word, the monotony comes in, you know. I have to like do all kinds of like things like that, but I think it really is worth it to have like our own card backs. Here's some of the other card backs we were messing with. um we have like the normal ones, we have like the ones like this. I made this one as a joke because this is a throwback to the original like manga card backs, that would have like the white border, and the purple like circle. I really like it. But we ended up going with a different, with a more of a modern esque look to it. We don't have the shiny one. There was one of them where I like wanted to have like a shiny back. We can maybe do it. Hold on. Let me show you the shiny back that I had. I'm not sure if I like it as much as the other backs, but we can show them off at the very least. Stream stuff. 5DARPS. Can you guys even like think about it? Like, it's happening. 5DARPS is happening at some point. Holy crap. But yeah, here is the shiny card backs right here. If I can get it to upload. There we are. All it is just a little shiny streak through it, and it was a little bit more distracting than anything. But it does make it kind of like look like a bit of a laminated kind of look in the back, you know. You see a gadget deck there? It's mostly just a placeholder card I grabbed. But yeah, it just kind of has like a laminated back kind of look. That's one reason why we're not doing it. It's just it's a little distracting sometimes. So we're going with just the regular back. I had some other backs as well, some other card backs that were pretty interesting. Search, not search. What am I searching for? I'm not searching for anything. Custom, do another card back. Because we also had this one, which I thought was really cool. And again, another throwback to like the old manga backs, with just like the old like the W kind of look to it, because like all of them were like big W's and M's and stuff. And I really liked it, and I liked getting the kind of modern design of like the circle in the middle. But again, too distracting. The other one is much more simple. So that's why we're going with the just regular card back. Instead of like this one, which again is a nice nod to the old timey like card backs of like the manga, but both of them are kind of we don't really need it. Are all the decks for the players decided then? The main starting decks of most of the players are decided. We haven't gotten all of the art done for anything because each player is going to start off with 3 unique cards that are not in the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. But if we look over here, it's going to be around this sort of power level. There's going to be a lot of just like really, really bad cards that they're going to have because they're all from the satellite. They don't have very good cards and stuff. So like there's going to be like Master and Expert, Silver Fang, Mask of Darkness, Reinforcements, yada yada. But you know, we are going to throw in some other things like Plague Wolf. Karibo is gonna be a thing for some of them. Banner of Courage. I think the strongest card in this deck is Swamp Mirror. It is a very, very nice card that gives a player a 1800 attack monster as a trap card. So this is gonna be basically the strongest card in this deck. Will be something similar to this. At least at the start. Again, people are gonna be able to ramp up their decks very, very heavily. But for the beginning parts, like that's gonna be the big strong card in a deck. Other than the cards that will be given them, of course. This is the kind of the starter deck I'm going to be going with. I'm going to be messing around with it a little bit, but this is going to be the main starter-esque cards for Fomal's deck. Because Fomal is going to be playing a mix of fiends, beasts, and zombies in their deck. So they're going to be having like a bunch of fiends, zombies, and beasts. And I threw 6 cents in because I'm like, if anyone's gonna do something fucking crazy with a random ass fucking card like this, it's gonna be Fomal. So no fake traps. Who knows, man? We might throw fake trap in some places. Maybe we'll say in the future, fake trap is a rare ass card because everybody always destroys their fake traps. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Um. I do have some cards obviously made, but none of them are actually put into the game yet. Mostly because I don't want to put anything in until I get like a very big amount of cards to put in. Basically enough to have like a booster pack of cards, quote unquote. But yeah. Right now the main thing we're doing is I'm taking all of these starter decks that I found that are at high enough quality that I don't have to do anything really myself. I'm taking all of them and I'm converting them into just cards that I can have that I can throw into random booster packs, quote unquote, for people to have any sort of like card drawing streams or like any sort of idea, like if they want to go off and spend like some time saying, I'm going to go duel some people to get duel points. And then they get enough duel points and they're like, oh, I'm going to spend some time like getting 1 pack of cards, you know? Just some like regular random stuff to throw in for deck filler. But there are some good cards obviously in them. There are some monarchy cards, there are some heroes, because we're actually going to be able to like throw the heroes in these. Because in the original GX DARP game, I didn't want to have the heroes in them because I didn't want to have any cards that were mainly used by main characters in the original DARP game, which stood for Duel Academy RP, you know, whatever. So I didn't want to have Jaden cards in there because GX and Jaden were so close. But because we're doing 5Ds now, we can put in hero cards. So that's really cool. I am taking away some cards, however. There are some big things that are going to be missing from actual 5Ds related cards. And one of them are going to be these. There's not going to be any Synchron cards in our in 5Ds. So any of the Synchron cards and Warrior like cards that are mainly used by Yusei are not going to be involved in our 5Ds game. So that's going to be a big hit to a lot of synchro potential because these are actually really fucking good cards. So none of the Synchrons and none of the Warrior like cards are going to be involved in our 5Ds game. As well as none of the Synchro Dragons are going to be involved. So no Stardust Dragon, no Red Dragon Archfiend, Power Tool. We'll probably cut out Morphtronics. We'll probably cut out the certain Archfiend cards, not like all of them, obviously, but kind of like the main ones that are used by Jack. And the Resonators, I think, are going to be the big things that we're going to cut out from Jack's deck. No Blackwings. You are correct. We're not going to have any Blackwings in the game. No big plant cards. Mostly the Black Rose cards aren't going to be involved. We can't take out all the plant cards, obviously, but just mainly the Black Rose cards. And a lot of basically the main character cards aren't going to be there. So that's going to be the big thing for this, because we don't want, just like with the original DARP game, we don't want people to be like, oh, you're like the Yusei of this game, or you're like the Jaden of this game. You know, we don't want people using those cards. We want to have them be able to have their own kind of experiences and understandings. So yeah, no Black Rose Dragon, none of those things. We're gonna replace them with some pretty good stuff though. Stay tuned. There's gonna be some pretty cool stuff. Like, what if we have Kid Moto, the Dragon Knight? We're not gonna do that. That's not gonna have. That's not gonna be a thing. Or maybe we'll have Ravael show up. He's not gonna show up. That's not gonna be a thing. But again, if you do think about Ravael, Ravael brings up a good point. Ravael, as well as the other Sacred Beast, we used in the original DARP. So there are going to be some cards that are immortalized in 5Ds that we would probably want to use potentially. We'd have to see though if we find anything on that kind of level. We'll have to see if there's any sort of if there's any way on Earth bound that we can. I don't know, man. We'll see. But yes, but we'll see if we end up using those or not. I'm not sure. We don't really know. I do have other ideas that would kind of kick those out on the curb. We'll see though. We'll see. Golden Eggwitch Dragon. Dude, where's our Eggwitches at? I know we have one in here. There it is. There's our Drawbreads. And the Golden Eggwitch. Immortalized, you say? Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to throw the Earthbound Immortals in, but I really do like the Earthbound Immortals as far as ideas for deck building are concerned, and for like kind of the big potential of 5Ds in general. The idea that the Earthbound Immortals could still be in 5DARPS, but none of the Crimson Dragon or Signer Dragons will be, has so many implications. For those of you who've actually seen 5Ds, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Earthbound Immortals without Signer Dragons is fucking mind-blowing. It is actually so crazy that I may have to do it. But again, they're not going to be like the main focus. I already know what the main focus of the game is. So if I do end up putting the Earthbound Immortals in, they're not going to be like the main thing to worry about, you know? But there are also other cards we don't want to kind of throw in. But that doesn't mean that every card is going to be out of there. Because like we do still have like stuff like Speed Warrior, for example. I actually want to take certain cards like Speed Warrior, maybe Quillbolt Hedgehog, maybe Sonic Chick, and kind of bring those kind of low tier-esque 5Ds cards and throw them into a new like level, throw them into a new height for them. So I might end up making like a bigger Speed Warrior, or like a bigger Sonic Chick, or like a bigger Quillbolt Hedgehog, or something like that in the future. And there's been all kinds of synchro support that came from not only newer stuff, but also things from like Yu-Gi-Oh! What's it called? It was after Zeal. What's the one after Zeal called? Fuck. Arc 5. Yeah, thank you very much. So there's like a bunch of like new support that came for 5Ds related cards in Arc 5 that we could potentially use as well. Also, one of the ideas I was playing with, and again, I'm not sure, everything I'm telling you in this stream is speculative, because I'm not 100% on all the cards I'm going to be using. I have the plot done. The plot of the entire like game is done. All the characters are done. Everything like that is done. But the actual cards I want to use aren't. One of the big ideas I had was potentially using some of the manga cards, including potentially some of the manga specific dragons. I'm not gonna say we're gonna, but that was actually something that came into mind as well. Because there are some really cool manga exclusive Signer Dragon stuff that's pretty neato. And again, there are some things that kind of go with them from Arc 5. There are some things that haven't been in any game. There are some things that have had there are some games that have had synchro supports that go with other kind of things. It'll be fine. We'll see how things go. But again, most everything I say here is just speculative. Most everything that I say for like cards and stuff are subject to change. This is still like a month or so off. I would say potentially May kind of like stuff. So it's still like several things off. The only thing left to do is the busy work, you know? Getting the only thing left to do for the game is getting the art from our artists and doing the busy work. So we'd have to see. Infernity stuff, I probably wouldn't do Infernities because I think Infernities weren't they used by a main character in the game? Like that was what's his name's, right? God, what is his name? God, I can't remember his name from 5Ds. Colin, yeah, Colin. So yeah, I probably wouldn't use anything from the main people you would think of. I may allow certain other archetypes, like I may allow the fortune ladies and things like that. Like you can't get rid of every archetype from the game. I didn't get rid of the blue the red eyes stuff when we did the original DARP. And again, I didn't get rid of the sacred beasts. You can't get rid of everything because then you wouldn't have any synchro stuff ever. But I may get rid of the major villains, the major protagonist stuff. And that'd be basically where I'd end that at. Because we are going to make our own synchros and stuff, obviously. And I'm actually taking some ideas from other eras of Yu-Gi-Oh! For example, just to kind of get you guys a little bit hyped, I will reveal one thing. I am taking a certain archetype of cards that are Exceed exclusive and creating synchro variants for them. They'll do completely different things, but it is something that I really wanted to try to do. I wanted to try to take a certain kind of thing and make a synchro variant and kind of explore the archetype a bit further. I don't want to say too much, but I will say that one of the players will start off with it in their deck. It will be a starting card for one of the players. And we are going to potentially do some dark synchro stuff, like Yao just put in. There are going to be potentially some dark synchro stuff. Which dark synchros, if you guys would know, is basically tuning a dark dark tuner monster with another card, and then instead of adding stars onto it, you minus stars from it. It's pretty cool. Da-da-da-da. there are several different things, and I may end up certain archetypes that didn't get a lot of like support or a lot of help in original 5Ds. I may end up grabbing those, even if they were from a major character, and adding stuff to it. Which again, that kind of goes with like the Speed Warrior thing, but it also would go with potentially like the Chain archetype. I really like the Patroller archetype. I might really go into like for the police. I may go pretty heavy on the Fire Ant Ascator and the Sun and Moon Dragons. I may end up messing with a bit. I don't think I will for those in particular, because those are very big things. The Relic decks, yes, I really do like the Relic deck. I may end up doing something with that. I may not though. Like that's the big thing. All of these are just kind of ideas that I have right now. I like how in Arc 5 the police of the Synchro Dimension had the Goyo archetype. I do like that. I do really like Goyo as the police kind of archetype. I may end up expanding the Goyo stuff pretty heavily because Goyo's pretty good. I may end up adding some things from like other things as well. One of the big cards I want to put into the game are some of the ones from Vrains. There's actually a really cool archetype in Vrains that I really want to throw into the game at some point, which is all about like the big beefy boy monsters. I thought those would go really well with like Goyos or like potentially even Six Samurai-esque type of things. There's a bunch of different ideas, and that's where we're kind of at right now. I have made all of the different Gokis. Yes, the Gokis. I have made a lot of the different NPCs, and we have we have the player characters basically made. All of the characters are done. I just need to make their decks. You know what I mean? At this point, it's all on me to create their decks and create the different things that are going to happen, the different side stories that are going to happen. Because the main plot is done, I haven't made the side stories yet. You know what I mean? So that is the biggest thing that is going to be kind of done within the next like month. Is I need to get all of these cards shifted around, make all the different things, put in more packs, because I need to actually put in a lot of stuff. Each pack in original Yu-Gi-Oh takes around 3 uploads for me to do. And that really is going to get in the way of a bunch of things, because I also need to put my own packs in and different things like that. All of this is just busy work at this point. But it's work nonetheless. It's stuff that I have to do that takes away from me doing streaming, takes away from me doing other things. I've seen Wind Witches. Usually, if you can think of a Yu-Gi-Oh archetype, I usually have seen it. I've seen all of the different shows. I've also been following Professional for a little bit, but I haven't followed Professional in quite a while. But I have seen I've seen through most of Reigns. I've seen through most of the other shows. I'm currently kind of watching off and on Sevens. Sevens is okay. It's not fantastic. There are some ideas. I'm gonna shut my mouth. I almost said something pretty big that I'm not gonna say anything. There are some neat things. One thing that we're gonna be playing around with is the equipped stuff for the you know how like in the recent games we have like this section down here at the bottom of the cards for like their equipment. One thing that we're playing around with as far as equipment goes is there are going to be equip slots for dual discs. I'm going to make it to where different dual discs and different D runners, which are also going to be an equip slot. So different dual wheels and different different dual discs are going to have different stats, quote unquote. And those stats are going to have things out of dueling and in dueling potentially. One of the big crazy things that are going to be involved in this is that the difference between the satellite and the main area of the game are going to be, the satellites don't have anything. They are scrounging at the bottom of the barrel as far as like cards are concerned. They are scrounging at the bottom of the barrel as far as like tech is concerned. Going to actual Neo Domino, some of the big duelists there actually have D runners and dual discs that give them actual advantages in duels. For example, a normal satellite, if they were to be playing, they'd be playing with 4,000 life points. They'd have their shitty cards that they got through recycling. They got everything like that. But if they were, let's say, dueling against an actual, like someone from Neo Domino, like an actual like pro from Neo Domino, that pro from Neo Domino could have 8,000 life points. This could be an actual duel setup where somebody from the satellite could potentially have 4,000 less life points than somebody from Neo Domino. And it's all in the kind of idea of oppression. That's one of the big things I'm going with as far as like a theme for 5DARPS is keeping the little person down. Not to mention, and this is gonna be the one thing that the players are gonna hate more than anything. One of the main kind of opposing forces to the players are people who want to keep them down as satellites. So if you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, a very interesting thing gets brought up in Sevens where literally the beginning of Sevens is all about like these kids who feel like they're being oppressed. And if they have like they have like a thing like you have to duel certain ways, you have to do certain things, and if you don't, then you get demerits and other things happen where they could literally stop you from dueling. I'm being serious. In Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's, in the first like episode, one of the most interesting parts of it is that there is a corporation who is over the card game who can stop you from dueling. They can just shut you down from dueling. And like he ended up changing the way that people dueled on like his last chance. If he were to fuck up, then he would never be able to play the game ever again. It's crazy. And they kind of went into that in Arc V as well, where the protagonist in Arc V actually changed and created a new style of dueling. And he did it by kind of changing the way that dual discs see how things worked. In this world, I'm going to be taking that to a bit of a thing. In this world, entertainment dueling is like a big thing. People watch people in their duel runners, they do their things. Corporations own the card game. So one of the big things that I was thinking about doing is if the players make too much of a splash against too influential of people, they might just find in the papers in the next couple of days one of their cards or one of their strategies being banned or errated. However, and no, there's not be any pendulums. The only things involved are going to be up to synchro. However, there is also something that comes with that. It was shown in Arc 5 that the type of dueling energy and magic that comes from that kind of stuff can overtake how things usually are. So, one of the big things I want to have happen is they can ban or they can do things to like the strategies that the players use, except when those cards are unique to them, except in those instances where their dueling energy does something about it. In a sense, duel spirits from the original DARP. If we were to say, like, let's say somebody had Kid Moto, right? And the way that we had Kid Moto playing throughout that game, Kid Moto had all kinds of different effects that Kid Moto didn't usually have. Basically, if we had a Kid Moto on the field that had like those unique abilities, it would be that unique card to that person. The corporations couldn't stop them from playing their Kid Moto because the dual disc still lets it happen, but the spirit is where that card comes from. So one of the big things the players would be able to do is if they form special bonds with their cards, like Tess would say, every card wants to be played. If they formed special bonds with their cards, those cards could be able to use their abilities and use their effects even if the big corporations tried to ban them or tried to limit them in some way. So that's going to be like a big thing. Is that, let's say, whatever this card is, let's say that Ancient Gear Gadgetron Dragon was limited in some way. Like they either banned the card or they made it to where, it doesn't have an effect anymore with red gadget or yellow gadget. You only get the green gadget effect. And then the player's like, oh, fuck, I have this card now. It only works with green gadget and stuff like that. But let's say they keep using the card, or let's say that they did have a bond with the card beforehand. The card at that point, the card spirit could be like, yeah, I know what they said, but fuck that. You get all these other abilities back. The card itself would allow you to use the effects and use the abilities. So that's kind of like what I'm wanting to go with as far as like this kind of a game is like making the players, if they want to like do big things, they could do other things like that. How hard could it be to gain spirits? The way that I'm saying spirit is less gaining spirits and more playing the cards. So for example, how we kind of did it in DARP, like whenever like people would like going into things, like there were card spirits, but there was also spiritual energy itself within the cards. So, for example, playing Ancient Gear Gadgetron Dragon while he's been nerfed, I could make it to where if they did play this card in, like, let's say several more duels, if they still played it even if it was nerfed, the card itself might respond and the card might get rid of the nerfs itself. You know what I mean? But if they had an actual spirit with the card, like let's say they had a spirit connection with Ancient Gear Engineer, then this card, not only could it kind of get away from the nerfs that would happen to it, but it may gain new abilities, kind of like how Kid Moto did. You know what I mean? That's the difference between a card being spiritually enhanced and a card actually being a dual spirit. But yeah, I have all kinds of ideas for this stuff, guys. It's going to be interesting, I think, at the very least. One of the big things is, like I was saying over here with equipment, one of the slots is going to be a dual disc. Maybe the dual disc would give you some sort of stat buff, but maybe it also would do something in the game. Like maybe the dual disc would be like, oh, with this certain dual disc, you get an extra 500 life points or something. Same thing with dual runners. Maybe they would be faster, so maybe you would gain speed counters faster, or maybe like you would gain more life points, or yada yada yada. But then there'd be other places for spirit cards, and as long as these cards are in your equipment, then they would be basically unaffected by anybody trying to mess with them. And you'd also get like other spirity abilities and yada yada yada. And I was thinking about making 5 be like how many people could have, as far as like the different spirits, and they could like combine their abilities and yada yada yada. Basically turning spirits and cards into equipment. And I thought that would be really cool. Who are the players for this campaign? The players are going to be the players for the Sunday game. So, same people. Unless one of them decides they hate me between now and then. So starting duelists are going to be 90% duct tape. Yeah, kinda. But we'll have to see how things go when it comes to that. Hope one of the players become a corporate sellout. Definitely. One of the big things is, here's the thing, you could also take what I just told you in reverse. So like, yeah, what if you pissed off somebody in charge and they nerfed your Ancient Gear Gadgetron Dragon, right? Or what if you really impressed somebody who is in charge? Or what if you really brown-nosed somebody who is in charge and they have a vested interest in letting you become stronger? Maybe they will buff your card, or maybe if your card was limited, they would be able to be like, oh no, we're gonna let people use more than one of this card now, you know, that kind of thing. Maybe they'll somehow buff the cards for them if they decide to play nice with the corporations, you know? If they decide to play nice with the people in charge. And at that point, maybe they get sponsors. Maybe people, maybe there'd be like freaking somebody wanting to sponsor them, put their name on their dual disc or something, and have a vested interest in you doing stuff. So maybe they'd fix any like problems with your dual disc, or maybe they'd enhance it in some way, or they just give you a new one. So it really depends on how players want to go about it. If they want to play nice with corporations or play nice with other people in power, because other than corporations, there are other things. There's a big, if people have seen 5Ds, there are big cult influences in 5Ds. There's also potentially gangs that people could mess with. There is the actual academy, because they have their own dual academy as well. There's all kinds of stuff that people could try to ingratiate themselves into, or like mess around with things. 2 of the players actually already have a connection to one of the 3 major gangs of the satellite. So I don't want to talk about too much with that. But one of those people actually has a deck that is an Exceed based deck, but doesn't have any Exceed monsters in it. Basically, it's a deck that is used in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zeal or Zexal, whichever one you want to call it, but Exceed monsters don't exist, so they have like an archetype that they can't really do anything with, and they're just like, oh no, this deck will catch, don't worry, these cards will catch on. And people are like, these cards are shit, dude. What are you doing? It's like, no, they'll catch on, believe me. And like they would just have this deck that I may end up, depending on if the people like really like them, if they want to help them. Think of this person as kind of like the Nate of the crew, like the Nate of the game. They could end up making this person into a better duelist if they want to, but they're just like, but like they'd have like a card, and they're like, oh, but this card's really good. Don't worry, you got from Time Traveler. No, it's just that the support for the archetype hasn't been made yet, basically, Eggy. So think of it like having Karibo before any Karibo support ever came out. They are gonna have like some cards from an archetype that just hasn't got any support like yet, and probably won't over the course of the campaign, because again, I'm not putting Exceeds in the game. But yeah, it's basically stuff like that. Like how 5Ds and Zexal could be explained as the same timeline. Yeah, I think that they're not. They're definitely not the same timeline, but yeah. Is card mugging illegal? No. I mean, mugging in general is illegal, so probably. Who's gonna get mad at you in the satellite though? Like honestly, the satellite's fucked, dude. If you guys have seen 5Ds, the satellite is fucked. Will there be a king? Yes. In fact, one of the big duelists that are in the pro circuit actually has a vendetta against one of the players because of a certain thing one of the players did. Is anti still a thing? I will say yes. In most duels that are not sanctioned, like tournament-based duels, unless it's like an actual thing in the tournament, you guys can be like, hey, if I win, I get one of your cards. If you win, you get one of my cards. Like anybody can just say that. Not to mention, when it comes to spirits and things like that, because there are going to be spiritually once it's going down. I'm going to let people know from the beginning that the battle rights from the last game, they exist. If you find, let's say fucking Pale Beast shows up in front of you at some point, like as far as like a spirity mumbo jumbo thing is concerned, and it's like Pale Beast is like going at you and like going to scratch at you and go at you, the players will know that if they are backed into a corner, they can turn back and be like, I challenge you to the battle rights. And then they'd have to fight Pale Beast basically in a duel. It probably wouldn't be Pale Beast, but you know. Is there a duelist with blade or gun attached, and is it illegal? Probably. I mean, if you really think about it, dual discs in general should be illegal. But the way that dual discs run is that they have safety measures engaged. So most things like that would be props for like the entertainment duelists, you know? Most of those things would be like props. But if someone actually decided to do something like that, then yeah, people would probably be like, hey, why do you have a fucking sword on your dual disc? I don't know, shut up. Rah, duel. Any coin die support? You know we're gonna have gambling in this game. I actually offered one of the players basically the idea of a slot machine deck, using actual slot machine, the monster, and like potentially like making new cards around it. And they decided against it in the end, but it was gonna be pretty fun. We may or may not use that idea for an NPC. I don't know. But I thought that was really fun. Sent you a thing, Deco? Oh no. Lindo, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Can I even look at those? Can I even... how do I even work with these? Lindo, I know nothing about this stuff. How do I use... Oh, man. Lindo's giving me stuff I don't even know how to use. You can import it? All right. All right, Lindo, you're gonna have to walk me through it, okay? Okay, so I download both of these. They're getting downloaded. And I go over here, let's say, and I go probably create custom object. Yeah. Da 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 da. components, custom, and it would be model. Okay, so there are 4 things to put in. Which file do I put in model/mesh? That's the okay, that's the object file. All right. We're all about to see something crazy, I think. Except, you know, he could also just get me banned by having me put titties on stream. I don't know what he's doing. Just the one for now. Do I do anything else? Do I do anything else, Lindo? Because you gave me 2 files. I don't know what to do with the other file. The MTI or the MTL or whatever. Nothing else? Just import? Making sure. All right, importing. Hey, look at it! Look at it, boys! Hey, he getting us a dual runner in here. Going fast makes me feel alive. Yeah, look at this thing. Hell yeah. How happens you change its color? It probably changes colors. Bloop. Ha! Only certain parts change colors. That's funny. Oh, that's so cool. Hey. I love it, Lindo. We're going to put it over here. Are you doing this to me, game? Are you going to not let me put anything beyond a certain point again? There we go. There we go. Thank you, game. I don't have to murder you. No. That's not nearly big enough. That's not nearly big enough, guys. There we go. There we go. Look at it. I want all of you to look at it. I love it. We're locking it in. Needs more sharp things hanging off the sides. It's just gonna be there. Yeah, it's just gonna be there, man. It's whatever. Hold on. Let's make it edgy. There we go. Perfect. It's perfect, guys. It's our dual runner, guys. We're gonna call this one the this one is the wireframe. Yeah, Lindo's making 3D models and stuff himself. Yeah, he was taking seriously my thing of I need a fridge to put in here, and I'm like, dude, just make me a dual runner, and he's like, all right, and then he did this in like literally 40 minutes. Like a fucking madman. Dual runner paladin series version 1. Nah, fuck that. This is the monochrome. There we go, we did it. All right, so anyway, are there gonna be turbo duels? There are gonna be 3 types of duels. So yes, there will be turbo duels, there will be tag duels, and there will be master duels. and we potentially may be changing up the rules for certain ones of those. Um, those are going to be the main three. We may end up having like special duel rules for certain things. But those are going to be the three duels, and obviously, again, we're going to be changing the rules for a lot of different things. Show any of the new cards yet? I have shown some of the new cards. I haven't shown any of the ones you made yet, Krabozy, because we kind of agreed that it probably would be too bad to show those off too early. If I ever get any other ones from you, we can probably show those off, but we probably shouldn't show the ones you made for me so far. I don't know if you answered this already, but could spirit abilities differ between dual types? They won't differ between dual types. Some of them will have certain abilities for certain dual types, though. For example, maybe Karibo here only has a dual ability for master duels. You know, maybe he only has master duel abilities, whereas like Geroid here would have a turbo duel ability, and the turbo duel ability would be different, and maybe master and expert would have tag duel ability. You know, like they would have different abilities per different things. Some of them may have some overlap though. Maybe some of them are like universal. Like potentially like maybe Bloodsucker here just has a straight up start the game off with 200 extra life points or something. You know, maybe there'll be different ones like that. But yeah. Or like maybe Bloodsucker would have like an ability of like whenever you destroy an opponent's monster by battle, you can gain the difference in attack points as life points up to 500 or something. So like maybe like oh he gains 500 life points every time he hits something. That's fucking crazy. Or you know up to that much. Another big thing people used to complain about uh as far as the old DARP game, people used to really complain about Tilly. People used to really get on me for Tilly not letting the players like just have all of the cards and stuff. Because it's like you know she had all these cards, she should give it to them, yada yada yada, and I absolutely loved Tilly, and she's like I need to do this so I can have a future, me. But I have listened to those complaints and have decided to not make any of the store people in any way a nice little anime girl who's just doing her job. Uh, there are going to be several stores, but I'm not going to make any of them into nice little anime girls who know anything about what's going on in the plot. In fact, the first person they're going to be getting cards from is almost the exact opposite of that. So that's going to be interesting. We may or may not have someone similar to Tilly later on, but they're not going to be anybody who is connected as closely to the party as that, because I don't want people getting on me for not having the person in charge of the shops just giving the players cards, even though she did sometimes. But it's like, oh, you should give us more cards though. The fate of the world depends on it. Well, the fate of my wallet anyway. So, make them a sleazebag security with a heart of gold. Tilly needed a custom money archetype. See, guys, Tilly couldn't give anybody anything. Tilly had a special ability to where she gained 1 life point per every card that she owned. So if she gave away too many cards, she couldn't win any duels. Obviously, that's how that was always supposed to be. You just had to read between the lines a bit. But no, I probably won't have another character that close to the party who owns a shop. Is it a fat sleazebag who like a mafia boss? Nah. I would say that you probably could buy cards from one of the three major gangs in the satellite. Obviously, each of them may have their own pack that they could potentially sell the players, but only if you like ingratiate themselves. And again, they're not going to give you any fucking freebies. So they're ducks again. Maybe if you, I don't know. Maybe no. I'm not gonna import those guys. I'm not gonna bring in those guys in here. Maybe I will. I don't fucking know. Anyway, maybe I'll bring the two. Maybe I'll bring the Duck brothers over. I don't know, man. We'll have to see. I really love the dual runner over here. It's so good. Like I know it doesn't have any textures or anything on it right now, but I really love it. Make it Slaverman. Perfect. Perfect, guys. We'll just put Slaverman in the game again. Nate comes back as a gang leader. Hey, baby. Looks to me like you've been betraying the eggs and bakies. This is the eggs and bakies turf, baby. This is the Ruby Bakers turf, baby. The Ruby Bakers. Or the Ruby Bakies. I don't know. We probably won't have, unfortunately, many references to the old DARP. I'm not going to say there's not going to be any, but because this world is technically not the future of that world, this is a completely different timeline, different future. So we probably won't have many references to the old DARP. We see Tess. Tess left this world, dude. Tess fucking got out of Dodge out of this world. Her and the Crimson Dragon are long gone. I think that's like the biggest neat thing about 5DARPS is the fact that I'm gonna be doing a game without the Crimson Dragon, and that means that there's basically not going to be any sort of signer stuff because the Crimson Dragon is the one that gave the signers their powers. You know, you're right here. Hi, yeah, that's funny. Crimson Dragon. I'm playing. This is fun. It's hilarious. So there's not going to be any real signer stuff. Like the fact that the Crimson Dragon isn't here means any signers wouldn't have any abilities. They wouldn't have anything to draw it from. Have you figured out what you're going to do, how donations are handled? Because in Dart, donation, in my opinion, had much of an impact on the game. We are going to be increasing the amount of duel points people get from duels. It's no longer going to be a short, like, 5 points, and 5 points are a thing. We're going to kind of go into a sort of yin-type money system like we do in NetNavi. So that should solve some problems, because then it would show people, like, having to actually duel a decent bit to get certain things. And as far as donations are concerned, it's probably going to be the same thing. $1 equals 500 duel points, kind of thing. I may or may not change up how that works out, but every single pack is going to cost different amounts of money. So they could just spend all their money on, like, fucking basic-ass packs that give, like, Dark Assailant, but instead of doing that and then selling the cards they don't want for a duel point each and then getting more packs, they might grab 5 Dark Assailants, and in the original DARP, getting rid of these 5 Dark Assailants gave you 5 duel points, right? At which point they could then buy another pack. This selling 5 Dark Assailants now may not give you enough for a pack. You know what I mean? So they probably won't. They probably won't be as broken as the original game was, as far as, like, pack opening strings and stuff. However, there is one thing I wanted to kind of, I don't know if I've told you guys this or not. I know I've told the party, and they think it's really cool. But let's say this is a pack, right? Let's say this deck here is a pack. One thing that I'm going to allow them to do is one of the things that you guys can give them, obviously, is destiny tokens, right? The fate cards. One thing I was thinking about doing, and I'm probably gonna do, is you can use your fate cards whenever. You can use your destiny tokens whenever you want, obviously. But one of the things you can get from it is 2 packs. Now you're thinking, like, why would that matter? Why would giving up 1 destiny token for 2 packs matter? And you know, I'll tell you exactly why. They get these 2 packs, right? They get 10 cards. They draw these 10 cards. They get interdimensional mouse transporter. They get the dragon newt. They get fucking this. They get all these cards from their 2 packs, right? And that's really cool. If they do this in battle, if they decide to use their destiny tokens in a duel to draw from 10 packs, or from 2 packs, like I just said, they can then, instead of their normal draw for that turn, they can instead take one of the cards they got from the pack instead of their normal draw. So let's say they have it. Let's say they have a duel, right? They have a duel going on, and they're like, "Fuck, nothing in my deck can help me in this situation." They could literally give me a destiny token, draw 10 cards from a pack that I have there for them, and then depending on what they get from the pack, they can be like, "Oh, never mind. I just got fucking Monster Gate. I'm gonna use Monster Gate right now and see if I can just get a fucking big ass monster onto the field." Or Card Trader. I'm gonna get Card Trader. I'm gonna activate it right the fuck now and get some new draws. Or, fuck, dude, Axe Dragonute sounds really fun. A 2000 beater monster just right off the gate. Let's fucking go. And the card pack will change depending on which game. So every game, I might decide to use a different pack for the Destiny token pack. So, and they'll never know which one. It's all going to be pure fucking heart of the cards. Well, they keep the card? They keep all the cards. They'll keep all 10 of the cards because they used it to get card packs. But they only put the 1 in their deck, you know? So like the other 9 just become part of their stuff they can do later. Only the 1 goes straight into their hand if they do it that way. So yeah, I thought that was going to be a really cool way to get through the game. So magically they get a card. Basically, we would assume that they would have slipped that card into their deck before the game. We're just going to assume that because these people are people who are duelists, that they're just some cards that they had that they slipped into the game beforehand. Kind of like how whenever you see Jaden every now and then use like really fucking crazy cards, and like you say Jaden and them and they never use them again. Like for example, do you guys remember that Jaden has Solemn Judgment, and he only uses it like twice ever? Jaden has Solemn in his deck, and he barely uses it ever. It's basically like that. Like, he, for this duel, slipped this into the deck beforehand. Like, right, it's that card that I put in there. Yeah. It makes me so happy that people don't know half of the broken cards in Jaden's deck. It's so crazy. Jaden actually has a bunch of really good cards. Forgot he had that. I know he used it against Wheeler. Against fucking Wheeler. He used it against the robot monkey. Or was it Genzo? It was one or the other. I can't remember if it was Genzo or Wheeler. I can't remember which one. It was one of those two. What about when Jaden uses Shining Flame? I don't remember using that monster a lot. Yeah, once Neos came into the equation, he stopped really using a lot of those old, really good heroes. But he still used them a bit. In fact, I'm pretty sure he used Shining Flare Wingman really late in the 4th season. I'm not entirely sure if he did or not. But he also has fucking Honest. Jaden has Honest in his deck. Like, fucking what? That is so Jaden's deck is amazing. People who say that Jaden like has a unbalanced deck, Jaden has so many fucking crazy powerful staples that work with his fucking monsters. It's not even funny, dude. Jaden has some fucking good shit. And Yubel, obviously. But yeah, that's basically how we would kind of go with this kind of thing. Is if they're in the middle of a duel, they like, man, I just want to see if I can get a good draw from these cards. And they don't have to at that point even add these cards to the hand. Like they just be like, well, whatever, I didn't get anything good. I'm just gonna trust and I'm just gonna draw for my turn. Like they don't have to do it after they do this. So it's literally just a destiny draw, but you can choose one of 10 cards. Imagine if someone's trying to deck you out, right? If you're facing a deck that decks you out, and your strategy is just I'm just gonna use all my fucking destiny draws to make sure I never waste a draw. So they just every turn use a destiny token to get a new draw. That doesn't take away from their deck. There's all kinds of things you can potentially do with stuff like that. I can't wait. I literally cannot wait until this game happens. How many cards do you have left? More than you, bitch boy. But yeah, I'm super looking forward to this game. It's gonna be so fun. For those of you who are wondering, like, what I have to do here, like, honestly, when it comes to this, like, all of these cards, they all have this backing. I don't want them to have that backing. This is really cool. Where's it at? Spread. Look at that. That's really cool. So basically, because I don't want those backings, and I don't know which cards are in this deck, I would then just copy the deck over. I would then spread the deck so that I can see all the different cards in it. And then I'm going to take this deck, go to custom, make sure it's rectangle, because I like the rectangle. I don't like the rounded rectangle. I like regular rectangle. Go down to back, choose the back that I have, which is right. Give me a moment. 5DARPS. Correct, there it is. I had to make sure it wasn't the one with the shiny. Which is right there. Choose that back. Now the problem is I've already edited this deck a bit. So the actual cards in the deck are 50. This one's probably fine. I'm just gonna add 2 to it. Import. Yeah, this deck is fine. But if there was anything else in here, like these 2 cards just show that everything's fine. If there was any other cards in here, I'd have to go through the deck and find which card is not in this thing down here, and then change it out. So this one's fine. I can just add it over here to the list, but that's why they're separated like this. All of these end in 0, so all these are probably fine for me to just switch over. All of these over here are like 17, 26, 32, like they're like that kind of thing. So I have to like go through them and make sure that each of them are changed. So that's mainly where we're at with this. It's just a bunch of busy work that I got to get done. And then after that's done, I just go over and delete. Remember that in tournament where the guy had so many cards they just went. Yeah, dude, they actually had to change. They had to actually change the limit for decks because of that guy. I know who you're talking about. Yeah. They had to actually change the deck limit, and that's all they wanted. That's all that the people who did that wanted to do. They wanted to come in with that deck so that they would change that rule. Tabletop Simulator's come a long way, I know, right? I really like the spread feature. It's really cool because like you can just be like, oh, look at this Monarch deck, spread. Look at all the neato burrito cards in here. This isn't even a Monarch deck. It just has a Monarch in it. I'm a dumb. It doesn't always split very well, as you can see. But you can go to each of them individually and check out which one they are. So it is a lot easier than it's easy to do. It's just time consuming. like I said, that's why it's busy work. And the problem is, I can't let people in to help me with it because people can't import stuff. So I can't actually. This deck looks nice. This is just a starter deck. This is just a random, actual Konami approved starter deck. This isn't anything I made. I'm just using these because there's no point in re-uploading any of these. These are already the highest quality that they can be. So there was no point in me just uploading these myself if they're already there, you know? That's something I wish TTS would let you do down the line. Yeah, I just wish that I could right click, go to custom, and then just change the back without resetting the entire deck. That's what I wish I can do. Because right now, that's the problem, is that every time I go in here, right click, go to custom, no matter what I change, it resets the entire deck. So that's the problem right now. But yeah, in the end, I'm just going to take all these cards plus any cards that I import in. I'm going to separate them out into their own booster packs, quote unquote. And then those will be what we end up using for player decks, for NPC decks, and I'll be adding new cards in as the game goes. I mainly just need to have stuff settled for like the first 10-ish games, and then I can gradually add in more and more cards as I did last time, and gradually make more and more different things depending on how the players react to certain cards. Because there's no need for me to, let's say, keep like adding in Icarus attacks or stuff if nobody's wanting to use wind monsters, you know? Like there's no need for me to do that at all. So I would stop at that point putting in wind support because nobody's using any wind support. I would obviously drop in every now and then some wind monsters, but like there's no need to put in a ton of wind support, you know what I mean? Just use the old player decks to mess with them, dude. One of my ideas was just taking the old player decks from the old DARP and just like giving them to NPCs. But whenever I thought about that, I couldn't do it, which really sucks. Because if we go here to the DARP stuff that I have saved, a lot of the stuff that is in here, are obsolete now. So like whenever I tried to bring in one of the other decks, a lot of the cards were missing from it, unfortunately. Look at this bunny. Lindo, I need an entire casino archetype and more bunnies. Get on it. I need an entire casino archetype. I need like a boss bunny girl, like she's sitting back and like she has like one of those like long pipes, you know, like those long smoke pipes, and like she's just like the boss lady, like the mafia leader of the casino bunnies. It's on the dock. Dude, I think that people will eventually understand that I am just a big degenerate for any sort of bunny card. Like the new Dying Keto. Oh, don't tell me about the new. I mean, the new Dying Keto actually. You're talking about the one where she's younger, right? You're not talking about the alternate art Dying Keto, because the alternate art Dying Keto has always been to me. But I do like the new Dying Keto. Yeah, the cop one. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Whoa, was that Jessica Ashford? Nah, it's her cousin Jesse Ashford. Perfect. Casino Bunny matron. It's kind of like that one the one lady from what was it called? The Mafia show, the new the house husband Mafia show. Because like there's this one girl in it that's kind of like the boss lady, but like now she works at a grocery store. I don't know, man. Can it just be Artoria Bunny Girl? Listen, you have to plead with Lindo about that. Or Krabozy, or whoever wants to make it for me. I'm kidding. I'm playing. Talk to Fomal, have Fomal make some bunny girls. That's the one really fun part about this project in general, is that I have so many really talented people around me, like Lindo, like Krabozy, like Fomal, like Din, like Phantom, like Will, like Squeaky. I have many more, obviously. I have so many people around me that do amazing art for us for our games, and this type of a game where looking at all these different arts of these cards and seeing all the different art styles that go into them is one of the absolute best things. So like that's one of the absolute my favorite things about doing DARP again, is that I can actually like use so many different artist art styles to make new cards and new archetypes and stuff. Um, and obviously, they are compensated to the best of my ability. Whenever you guys give me it all depends on again, I don't like bringing this up, but like your guys' donations are what enable me to actually give these guys monies for their stuff. So it is very much anytime we do like a card opening stream, for example, like later on when we go into Yu-Gi-Oh, like when we do like a card opening stream, a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, well, he just made fucking a lot of money." I was like, "No, everyone else made a lot of money. I just got a lot of art." Ba, 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 ba. So asked Fomal and she said, "Fuck yes." Damn it, Cyan! You're genius. I'm kidding. $100 to the players immediately. Don't test me. I'll do it. Again, it's all everything's fine. Like honestly, this month itself has been somewhat of a slow month as far as donations are concerned, and we've still been fine. Like we've still been doing like really fine as far as things are concerned. I owe Lindo some money, but other than that, we're doing fine. But that's one reason why I don't like missing out on days like today. Like I didn't want to go forward with game today without having all of our players. It's a very important game today. But whenever we're preparing for another game to happen, it's hard to skip out on days because those days are days that I can get stuff to obtain more assets. You know what I mean? I barely did any work, and I said I was going to do work today. Do, 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 do. I'm pretty sure that somebody just messaged me, and it's kind of a I'm pretty sure they're wanting to ask me to play a game. So I let them know I'm doing a stream right now. Could end at any time, but I'm doing a kind of chill worky stream. So Yao, you did not have to give me $30. Thank you very much, though. Me explaining that was more for the streams. Like whenever you guys, thank you very much for the $30. But whenever you guys, one of the big reasons I have the incentives, like the donation incentives, is because I don't like just taking your guys' stuff. That's one reason why I want to keep making more donation incentives for every one of the games. I want you guys to be able to give the players stuff and make it feel like you guys are impacting it in some way. Thank you very much appreciated. But I usually let you guys know it's probably better to do it on the game streams. Lindo's gonna duel you for more money. he'll get them cred sharks on you. Oh fuck! I paid him half. He knows I'm good for it. Did I ask you a little question in Discord a while ago? Let me know the answer when you can. Oh, let me go look. Again, I'm sorry if I miss Discord stuff. I usually have everything turned off. It doesn't happen anymore, but back whenever I first started streaming and first started doing stuff, I used to get like flooded with people trying to message me. It doesn't really happen that much anymore, but like I still just keep everything turned off just in case. uh hmm how do I put it? Um Technically no. Technically, no, but kind of yes. Oh man, how do I put this in a way? I got it. I know what I can say. So I sent you a thing. Um, that's about as much as I can say without going too deep into the hows. But that is that is about how much I can say, Kerbosi. Just reasons. All right. I know you're good with that, my dude. I know, Lindo. We have our own things. I was mostly playing it up for the lulz. Dude, you make me anything, Kerbosi, and you know I'll use it. Wait, so the time travel world fucked over the entire world? To be fair, the world fucked over her first, Eggy. To be perfectly fair, the world fucked her over first. So she doesn't really I don't think she should care. The world fucked her over so much that the spirit world and the Crimson Dragon were like, yeah, fuck this reality. Let's go. This reality sucks. But yeah. I wouldn't worry too much. I wouldn't worry too much about it. But there are going to be some um consequences from what Tess did. But Tess will not be in the game. Obviously, she left before this game ever started. In fact, she left about 30 years before this game started. Thereabouts, around like 30, 40-ish years before this game's gonna start. Got a list of artists just piling up. I see. Listen, anybody who wants to give me anything, I'm good. FOMO. Have something for you soon then? Hell yeah, Grabosi. Again, you let me know at any point whenever these things go down, my dude. We've already talked about it, but you let me know and I got you. The actual one thing I can say, one thing that I've always hated about 5Ds, and this is something that I can kind of bring up that isn't going to be spoilery. One thing I've always hated about the canon of 5Ds is that it didn't seem like enough time passed for an entire global class system like structure change, you know? In the actual game, it's like in the actual show, it's like, oh, it's like been 20 years and the world's already devolved into a classist fucking hellhole. And I'm like, that shouldn't be right. So in actual 5DARPS, the thing that created the world as it is, I'm not going to spoil too many things because some of you guys might not have seen 5Ds, but the thing that started the 5Ds world, I'm going to say, was at the very least 100 years ago. I'm saying that was a lifetime ago, basically. The exact wording I'm using is a lifetime ago. Because it's basically any time between like 100, like 150 to like 80, like somewhere around there years ago. And then a bunch of shit happened, and then the Tess stuff happened, and then Tess left about 30 to 40 years ago. Like, I'm putting a lot of time in between major events in this because I want to make sure that this kind of stuff has time to ferment, you know? Because we're going ham into the class system. We're going ham into the oppression angle when it comes to this. In 20 years, and they redefine classism. Exactly. FOMO's an expert on this stuff. She knows what to say. She knows what to do. I'm playing. Hey, my dude. Big Chow from Italy had a question, but it's an idea when you want to start the 5 darts. Oh, really hope I can see the Shadow deck in the roleplay. I'm watching all of Dart in the period and still loving it. Sorry for the long message. Love your work, my dude. No problem, man. Basically, I would say you could probably expect it. Um, it's so hard to put a thing on it. I would say end of May, early June, somewhere around those ish times. Because we still have to finish NetNavi. And we are in the last little bits of NetNavi. People may not think we are, but we really are. Once a certain event happens, things are gonna go fucking down. Things are gonna go fucking crazy forward. Yeah, don't worry about it, Squeaky. Anyway, it is very much we are in the end game, whether people wanna believe it or not. Once a certain event happens, the end of the game will be in sight. People will be able to see it, like, very much. And I've said this for quite a long time. And any of the things that's been going on, because at first I did say beginning of May. I've added on around like four games already. It's gonna be May, June. NetNavi will not go into July. There's not enough stuff for NetNavi to go into July. There's not enough stuff left. I would not be surprised if the big thing happened this game coming up. If that helps you guys understand exactly how close we are to a big thing happening. I would not be surprised if a big thing happened this coming game. So, who knows, man? It'll probably be either this game or next game that a big thing will happen. That's why I'm trying to get we're finding out this with it. I've already told you guys. I told you guys months ago. Squeaky is panicking. This is how it goes, man. Every game has to have an end. And NetNavi, I feel like, is gonna have a really good end, but it may seem fast for some people, and that's mostly because a lot of the stuff that they didn't get into early on in the campaign, such as the Savannah stuff. I'm not gonna spoil too many things about the Savannah stuff, but the Savannah stuff that's happening right now, a lot of the Savannah stuff that's happening right now was supposed to come into play way earlier. But it just so happens that certain decisions the players made, they went just as far into certain people, and then they turned, you know? Like, we got just far enough with Savannah to understand, like, a tiny bit about her and her connection to Grandma Pigeon, and then the party decided to turn, and we went into a different direction with other NPCs, and nobody wanted to hang out with Savannah after a certain point, you know? Same thing with Nell. We got to a certain point with Nell with the Nell stuff slash Nathan stuff, and once we got to that point, and it was just about on the cusp of people learning about, like, Nathan's stuff, like, way early, and then we turned and we went to a different direction. It's nobody's fault because we got to see other things. But we did spend probably more time on Shudder than we needed to, but it's nobody's fault. People were having fun, and that's perfectly fine. Nonsense. But yeah. Shutter's best boy. Shutter is best boy. Let's be honest. Shutter is mega neat. I'm hoping that the players are gonna find people to latch onto in 5DARPS that'll be just as interesting to them. We'll have to see though. That's what happens when the game is just me and Will's dead body. That's why everything it's mainly it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's mad. There's no fault to be even put out there. It's just kind of me explaining as to why things feel very forced and rushed right now, because this information you guys are getting, you guys should have gotten a long time ago, is the main thing I'm saying. It's not anything else than that, you know? It's stuff that you guys could have learned before, but now you're just learning now, so it feels like it's all happening all at once. FOMO, don't talk about dead bodies right now, especially after what you said earlier. I'm playing. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to explaining more and more about things. But we are in the end game as far as NetNavi is concerned. There is, once a certain event happens, all hell is gonna break loose, and you guys are gonna be probably upset at me for a couple of weeks. No, don't worry, I'm playing around. You're not gonna be upset. I think it's gonna end pretty well. I don't think people are gonna. I don't think you guys are gonna be upset once it ends. I think that one of my biggest kind of concerns, well, the reason I say upset at me, one of my biggest concerns is that whenever NetNavi ends, that people are gonna be disappointed. They're gonna want more, you know. I know that NetNavi is one of our most unique games we've ever made, and I know that a lot of people are gonna miss it when it's gone. I just hope that people aren't gonna be too upset when it's over. You know what I mean? Not like upset anything that's going to happen in game, not anything like that. I'm saying upset because the end. I hope that people understand that everything has to have some sort of an end, and that maybe one day we can come back, you know? Because I do plan on like retreading certain games as we go forward. I do plan on at some point. I'm planning on doing this for a long time, like until people stop liking it, you know? I'm planning on DMing on streams for years and years to come. So who knows? This is the first time we're kind of treading back to a new idea as far as 5DARPS is concerned, but that's not going to be the last time. Maybe one day we'll do another NetNavi game. Maybe one day we'll go back to Fairy Tail. Maybe one day we'll have a second Pokemon game, you know? All these games, hopefully we'll be able to come back at some point, at least in some way, shape, or form. NetNavi sequel where Alan ends up with Yomei, and that's how we get Mega Man Legends RP. No humanity left. Only Reploids. Alan babies will make your dreams come true. But yeah, I would not be surprised if something big happened on Sunday. So if you guys are wanting to get into the end of NetNavi, Sunday's a good time to be there. I would not be surprised if it happened then. If it doesn't happen this Sunday, it'll probably happen next Sunday. Is all I'm gonna say. How robot plus human equal baby? Well, equal baby human robot hybrid. It equal bio baby. Hope we go back to Fairy Tail again because that game ended too abruptly as my favorite Summoners Network RP. It ended abruptly for a reason, but yeah, I do get that. There was some problems with Fairy Tail, and hopefully I've grown to a point where I'm a better DM and can handle those problems a lot better. But one day I do want to go back to Fairy Tail at some point. Nobody's gonna steal the melon bot? I mean, technically, the bot that they have right now, the new bot that they found, quote unquote. I'm not gonna say too many spoiler things, but the new bot that they found, is technically Alan's. I mean, it's technically his. If I help design an archetype, can I fire it at you? I don't. I usually just accept art. I don't really. I don't really have everybody help me make the cards themselves. That's usually just kind of on me. Um, if anybody ever wants to send me art to try to use, I would definitely do it. And depending on what kind of compensation they would want or anything like that, I would definitely go for it. If I could find a way to use it, but I come up with the cards myself because I want to make sure that the balance is there. There are going to be so many custom. You know what? I'm actually going to show off one of them. Da-da-da-da-da. I don't have them as actual cards here, but we do have several cards in the works. I can show off quite a few if we wanted to. Goblin of the Way. We do have technically a U-Goblin card that I'm going to keep. It's not technically a U-Goblin card, but it is 100% a U-Goblin card. What are you talking about? Da-da-da-da. We are 100% keeping this card. I'm not sure if it's going to have the same ability exactly, but we are 100% keeping this card that FOMO made. Oh no, it's backwards. There we go. We are 100% keeping this card. And basically the way that everything's kind of set up with this card, I'm gonna lock it in so I can kind of draw on it and stuff. The way that everything's kind of set up with this is that we have obviously the only thing that they come up with is the actual image. Let me get a different color. Go for a bright ass fucking blue. The only thing that I have the artist do is come up with the image for anything. Sometimes we have like an idea as what the card will do or anything, but they usually just come up with the image here. At which point I come up with the effect, depending on whatever it is. We put a DARP number to it. I put Summoners Network 2021 down here. Give it a random code, and then we put the artist's name or whatever they want to go by down here, so that we can see who created the art for it. If they want to, they can give me a name sometimes. I know that both Krabozy and Lindo have both given me names that I've used for some of the cards. But it's basically how things kind of go with it. So yeah, we are going to be keeping this one. I love this one too much. We may change up the effect of it because the effect is kind of big in certain decks. Like honestly, this card could be really fucking good in certain decks. But yeah, that's basically what we have going on here. This is the 12th card we ever made. Let's put some more in here. Hold on, before anything, let's just do our best to flip these over so that they don't have to flip them later. Da-da-da-da. I've mostly already shown a lot of these. That's one of the ones that was made by that's one of the ones that was made by FOMO. Here's one of the ones that's made by Will. I think this is my favorite one that Will made so far. So we're gonna show that one off. It's part of a different archetype. This is part of the archetype that FOMO's cards are gonna be kind of into. This is Voice of a Thriller. A lot of like the thriller cards are gonna be like kind of like the old like slasher movies and like a bunch of like old entertainment for like horror themes. I love this card. I think we'll go went above and beyond with this fucking amazing looking fucking thing. But it works with different thriller cards. We don't have a lot of the archetype done yet, so there's not really a lot we can say about the thriller cards in general. But yeah, they're really neato. There's gonna be different monsters. Like the big monsters are gonna be mostly themed around like old school like kind of things like werewolves and vampires and ghosts and ghouls and slasher like killers and stuff like that. It's really good. Let's throw a Lindo card in. Let's see a Lindo card really quick. There we go. Do-do. Oop. Here is a Lindo card that is also going to be going onto one of the player characters things. I really love her. She's great. This is Iratu. She is the Wicked Breaking Armament. The armament cards are going to be a new archetype we're doing that are closely connected to the Guardians and the Guardian weapons. So this is connected to the Wicked Breaking Flambarge, however you say it, Flambarge, whatever. Which is the sword that is in the art for it. And this one is super neat. Has a person who is picking up the blade and getting kind of influenced by it. Because in the actual lore of the Wicked Breaking Flambarge, it is what corrupted another card called Dark Lucius, which used to be, I think, Warrior Digrepher. So like there's a bunch of like lore behind the Guardian weapons and how like they influence or corrupt those who pick them up. So Iratu here picked up the Wicked Breaking Flambarge and became a demon esque like lady, and it's pretty good. She Engi as well. The term for Iratu means Iratus, which is a Latin phrase for anger or maliciousness or something like that. She Engi. There is also a technically less Engi version of her that doesn't have like the shadow on her eyes. But we wanted to make her look extra Engi. So evil demon swords. Well, they don't all have to be evil. They all influence in some way. But we did make this one end up being very angry because, again, the Wicked Breaking Flambarge is literally the sword that corrupted Warrior Digrepher into Dark Lucius. So, or it might not have been Warrior Digrepher. It was somebody. Do we have any other people who have made things yet? I mean, technically, I've made some cards. I made this one, which is another thriller card. But mostly I just did like edits. So we have the Thriller Knight here, which obviously is named after a certain song, but it's also a reference to the actual theme of this of the thriller cards, which are going to be one really bad night for a bunch of people. The thriller cards are all going to be around the Thriller Knight card, which is a field spell, and you can stack other Thriller Knights onto this card to get more abilities out of them. And all of the other field spells are going to say in their card text, this card is this card in the hand or on the field is treated as Thriller Knight. So you can only stack other Thriller Knights on top of it, and you can gain more effects based on how many things you stack on top. It's really cool. And I may end up making like certain cards, if they're at the top of the pile, maybe they have like a different effect or something. I don't know. There's all kinds of different neat things you can do with a stacking mechanic in card games. But yeah, there are going to be multiple cards. Some of them are going to be like just like kind of things. Like one of them is going to 100% be Cabin in the Woods is going to be one card, but it's going to, the name of it's going to be Cabin in the Woods, but in the bottom it's going to be like this card is treated as Thriller Knight. So that's going to be one of the things. They're all going to be kind of like places where you would normally see like a thriller or like a scary movie, you know. But we have all kinds of other ones as well. I don't want to show off too many of the arts that we have because some of them are kind of different. The only other thing I guess I can show is I'm also taking old cards and changing them around. So, for example, for those of you who haven't seen it, this is Trihorn Dragon. We are basing Trihorn Dragon off of another archetype that we're bringing in, but we're also got the idea for it from one of the games. I can't remember if it's Dark Duel Stories or something, but one of the old games of Yu-Gi-Oh! Considered Trihorn Dragon a ritual monster, and that was where I got the idea from it from. So we actually have the actual art of the ritual spell card and the actual Trihorn Dragon, and we're adding them into a Chimera archetype, which is an archetype for another one of the players. They're not going to have this card immediately, potentially, but they will have something. They will have the ability to gain it later, which is going to be pretty neato. Um, but yeah, I thought it'd be pretty neat to grab some old cards that aren't very much used and add new uses to them. For example, I haven't even told Fomel this yet, but for the Thriller Knight cards, I'm actually planning on reusing an old card called Serpent Knight Dragon for something in the Thriller archetype potentially. Um, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Um, I'm not sure if Fomel even knows what card that is, but back in the original Yu-Gi-Oh, it was one of the coolest looking fucking dragons, and it got such a they shafted this fucking dragon so hard. It used to belong to Rex Raptor, the Dino Duelist, and basically he summoned it, and it was only 50 points below Red Eyes Black Dragon, but nobody, nope, we never see it again because Red Eyes Black Dragon's 50 points higher. He had Dino DNA. No. That was you're thinking of Hasselberry from GX. I'm talking about Rex Raptor from the original. He didn't have Dino DNA. But yeah, I'm planning on throwing Serpent Knight Dragon into potentially the Thriller archetype. So that'll be pretty fun. And like old cards like that, I want to give like some new life in this game, you know? Esperoba actually takes that card from Rex during Battle City. I know! We never get to see Serpent Knight Dragon do anything cool. The last thing I can kind of show, I don't think I've shown this one yet. I think this is brand new. The last thing I think I can kind of show is that other than actually even giving some cards new stuff, because like as we see here, I do have Trihorn Dragon on here, and Trihorn Dragon is he's pretty neato, he's pretty cool. But I'm changing him. I'm changing everything about him. There are some cards that I want to change the art of that I'm not actually changing the actual effects of. And one of those that I can kind of show is this card, which is going to start off in Jake's deck. Haven't got to show a Jake card yet, so I thought showing this would be pretty cool. But basically, I just wanted to get new art for it. We have the Sword of Dark Destruction here. We have this new kind of art for it. I did show it. Okay, good. I didn't know if I'd shown this one or not. But we have like the new art for it. It has like the kind of the misty background, has like the eyes shining through. It just has the exact same effect. It's just the exact same card. That's kind of how we're going to be doing for them things going forward. We are, for any cards that we're using, I'm planning on, if they're going to be important to the game, either changing their effects, changing their card, or just changing their art. So Sword of Dark Destruction, it's not any stronger. It has the exact same effect, but it does have some new art. So Serpent Knight Dragon also has a ritual. That's fun. I might not go for the ritual angle. I may go for other things because I have other ideas for Serpent Knight Dragon. I have other plans for Serpent Knight Dragon. I'm not gonna say anything, but I have some things. What happens if they fuse two dual spirits? Who knows, man? I'm not sure if I would allow that. The only thing we've ever seen that's been able to do something like that is super polymerization, and super polymerization isn't going to be in the game. For the same reason super polymerization wasn't in the last game. Evil Knight Dragon and Holy Knight Dragon, I see. Yeah, dude, Seiryu is awesome too. I was actually planning on using Seiryu as well. All of these old, like, normal dragons that, like, have, like, nothing really going for them. Even stuff like Rabby Dragon. Rabby Dragon is not even that old, but I really love him. Which is just a rabbit dragon. Like, I want to use things like that. And you have a new Seiryu archetype? Well, you see, Yao, that just proves that people are watching me. That just proves that they're watching me. Just like what we've recently seen in a lot of the new cards, because they're apparently also bringing back synchros and bringing a way to summon regular fusion monsters a little bit easier. They're just watching me, man. Nintendo stole Team Break. Exactly, exactly. But you're just trying to make a bunny deck? It'll fucking happen, okay? It'll happen. Don't think it won't. Anyway, but yeah, whenever I make the lore of the games, I usually try to make sure that I don't how do I put it? That I don't go against established lore, like at least big established lores. That's why in the last thing in regular DARP, I made it to where there are only a certain number of Blue Eyes cards. I didn't say specifically 3, but I did make it a rare card because somebody, kind of did a Kaiba potentially, or maybe they just didn't make a lot of them. Maybe there was some other kind of reason, but it's the same with super polymerization. Super polymerization has a humongous lore behind it in actual Yu-Gi-Oh, and um, I wouldn't want to go against that established lore. The fact that it was only really created by people giving up their fucking souls, basically, or like using like people's like life force as energy. Um, it's not there. The card doesn't exist outside of certain scenarios. Um, but yeah, it's mainly that kind of a thing. That's why I don't use stuff like that. That's why I don't use a lot of very lore important cards. I do use some, because I did end up using the Seal of Orichalcos last campaign, because when it came to the lore of that card, it didn't seem like it was that rare of a card. It just seemed like people, like anybody who was affected by the Orichalcos got one. So I actually assumed that the Seal of Orichalcos was actually a pretty common card. Um, I assume that it's actually probably pretty common. It's just you don't want to fucking do it. You don't want to fucking mess with it. You know what I mean? Um, so that's kind of like what I did with that kind of thing. So if there is a lore reason for the card to be somewhat common, then I'll throw it in. I'll fucking use it. You don't think I will? uh, but yeah, look at all these tiny cards. Where are these big old cards? Urgh. That's what I thought the first time I saw the special edition like big cards that they had in Walmart and stuff. Wouldn't see a Sign of Dragon cards in like Stardust and Red Dragon Archfiend. Nope, we're not going to see any of those. There's not going to be any Stardust archetype, no Red Dragon archetype, no Synchron archetype, and no Resonator archetype, as well as no Black Wings, and different things like that. Like none of those actual but that's for a different reason. I don't want to use any of those in this game because they are prominent cards in the actual 5Ds. That's for a completely different reason. But yeah, there's basically not going to be any of those main archetypes. I actually have this right here in the not complicated cards, in not approved cards. Where are they at? Oh, here they are. These are basically one thing I've been doing is going through all these cards and like taking some things out. I took out all of the Synchron and Warrior Synchros. These are not in the game at all. These will never be in the game. They're fucking gone. And again, any of the Stardust cards, anything like that, all gone. Everything's out of here. Later, Buckaroo. These are heavily in the not approved section. Not approved. Get out of here. Iron Bro lives in our hearts. The Iron Bro. What are some neat synchro archetypes that show characters don't have dibs on? It's a good question. I have some things. Hold on. Let me go and see if I can grab. New folder. No, not that. There are some archetypes that I've actually looked into that have certain things. Junk archetype in general? Nope, no junk. We would use certain cards from Yusei's deck. Like I'm still keeping Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I'm still keeping Sonic Chick, Speed Warrior, and like Quillbolt Hedgehog. But junk in general, nope. That is a main archetype from Yusei, so it's not going to be used in 5DARPS. Are dual breds still a thing? I don't know what you're talking about. Why would there ever be any dual breds? Why would I ever do something like that? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Who's to say? Who knows, man? I don't know. You fucking know there's gonna be drawbreds. Oh man. What was I looking for? Right. Let me get my other thing up. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5DARPS. I know there's at least one that I was looking at that I was like definitely into doing stuff with. Da, 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 da. There's a bunch of actual cards that are really good, actual synchro cards that are really good, but don't really have a ton of archetype support behind them. Some of them have some, but some of them don't have a ton of them. But we would be able to use stuff like Cloud Castle, for example. Cloud Castle is pretty good. Coral Dragon is pretty neato. Stuff like that. Like I would probably just end up taking a bunch of regular synchro cards, including some of the ones from the manga as well. Potentially even stuff like Dark Highlander. Take stuff like that and like either make archetypes around them or just make decks around them. The satellite gets them, but they purposely leave out the 11 to 20 roll dual breds. Dude, dual breds, you can't mess with the draw breds, man. Whenever like you could say that they leave out the 11 to 20s, but let's be honest, who has the amount of draw power to really take all of those out of there? Come on. You can't just say that they take all of them. They didn't draw those. You can't unpack a draw bread. Come on. It loses its power if you don't eat it immediately. Are you excited about Magic Keys? They're alright. I'm not really excited about any Yu-Gi-Oh thing currently, mostly because I don't really play the actual card game anymore. I like seeing new things, so I get new ideas. So that's why I'm kind of interested in the Magic Keys. I like getting new ideas for things I can do with them. Could we see Clearwing, perhaps? You might be able to see Clear something. I'm not going to get too into other things, Kai, but who knows? We'll see. Would you use archetypes used by characters not from 5Ds? Yes, I will probably use some archetypes from stuff like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as GX, as well as don't worry about it, Krabozy, as well as stuff like that. Is the psychic archetype allowed? Depending on the archetype. The fact that psychic is its own actual type now, probably, but certain cards are not going to be allowed if they were very, very prominent cards in a NPC from 5D's deck. So yeah. Oh man, Card Captor Sakura. Yep, we have to get the wind rain. We have to get the wind rain power. Wait, what's it? Wind rain power. I knew. Oh, hold on. Rain, power, wood, sword, thunder, power, sleep. Wind, rain, shadow, wood, sword, thunder, power, sleep. Yeah, okay, I got it now. Good. Assuming by clear cards. No, you're thinking cloud cards. But yeah, literally cards called clear cards in CCS. Yeah, but I'm talking about the cloud cards. I'm like, I've never seen Card Captor Sakura, Squeaky. I only watch Card Captors. The Mythic Adventure. A quest for all time. Squeaky's gonna have Squeaky's gonna actually have a really interesting archetype that isn't even closely related to 5Ds. Hers is her archetype's actually coming far off in the future of Yu-Gi-Oh. And I'm actually really looking forward to making some stuff for it. Squeaky's card's gonna be fucking crazy. I can't wait to not duel. I mean, you don't have to be in the game if you don't want to be, Squeaky. You gonna get injection Fairy Lily again? Nope, no injection Fairy Lily. We could probably tell you everyone's gonna be like, man, can't wait to see Squeaky's deck. I mean, Squeaky, we could probably tell them one card in your deck, right? Your favorite. You want to tell them your favorite card? You want to tell them your favorite card, Squeaky? Go ahead and tell them your favorite card. Hold on, let me get the chat up so people can see it. Karibo, there you go. Perfect, Squeaky. Perfect. Keep them in suspense. Never give them an inch. There we go. She's running. Nope. She's not. Nope. None of those you guys have said so far. You don't want to tell them about your favorite card, Squeaky. Your favorite card you're gonna put in your deck. You want to tell them? Petite fucking Squeaky. It's not Petite Dragon. Come on, Squeaky. You wanna let them know? You don't have to let them know if you don't want to. You can just tell me no. Yeah. Okay, you want to tell them this time? Cool. I'll trust you blindly, like I always do. Dog Marin. It's not Dog Marin. Oh my god. It's close. That's racist. That's speciest. All right, let me go and get it, Squeaky. Let me go and get it if you want me to show it to him. Let me go grab it. We won't even tell them anything. We'll just show them the card. How about that? We won't even say what it's called. You want to do that? Make them work for it. All right, boys. Are you ready to see the powerful card that Squeaky's going to have in her deck? The one that I need to actually go and do a lot of editing on. Are you ready? Here comes the moment you've all been waiting for. Oh Lord, he coming. Oh Lord, he coming. Don't worry about him. Guys, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Don't worry about him. Again, obviously, I have to do a lot of editing when it comes to this card because I have to basically isolate the art of the card um, and put it onto an actual, like, this format card. Have to, obviously, levels go up here, attack and defense go down here, things like that. I have to obviously do a lot of editing when it comes to this card. Haven't done it yet because I haven't needed to. It's kind of easy. But yeah, this is the boyo. This is Squeaky's ace card, guys. This is her ace monster. Squeaky, did you see the Squeaky? Have you seen the dual runner that Lindo made for us? Does it have an effect? Nope. This is a normal monster. Squeaky, have you seen the dual runner? Ah. It doesn't have any mesh on it yet, but he's got this done. Look at it. Wow. VRRP win. But yeah, you guys have basically guessed the card. You guys know the card name. Where's Monica? Probably right here. There she is. There she is. I found her. Found her, guys. There she is. But yeah, Squeaky is playing an archetype of cards that hasn't really gotten a lot of support because it's very recent. Probably is going to get a lot of support over the course of the time we're playing the game. But she's going to be playing Beast Gear World deck. I just have to make sure to settle it for stuff that can work in regular and turbo dueling instead of rush dueling, because rush dueling isn't going to be a thing. And like always, I'm gonna probably give her some regular like new stuff for it. Yeah, it's not gonna be hard to convert at all now. She's gonna get like her own like actual cards for the archetype that aren't gonna be in any way, shape, or form connected to the cards in the actual game. In fact, I believe I wanted. I think we're gonna get Din to make the card that I'm wanting to make her. So that's gonna be really fun. But yeah, a lot of her cards are gonna be basically animals on fucking some sort of motorcycle, ATV, trucks, wacky races. She's getting wacky races. Things on motorcycles. She's getting things on vehicles. That is her archetype, is things on vehicles. And yeah, this is Buggy Dog. Instead of Squeaky on motorcycles? No, Squeaky's also gonna have a motorcycle. Squeaky's also gonna have a motorcycle. In fact, hey Squeaky, on this card, Squeaky, at the very top is your character's name. Do you want me to scroll up on this, or do you want me to leave that alone? If I scroll up a little bit, your character's name is up here. Scroll up a little bit. It's right above where this is. Scroll up a tiny bit more. You can almost see it. It's actually not going to be exactly this. I mostly just have the name there as a placeholder. But yeah, Abarako Sato. Whoop. And before it's Kisa. She just plays Kisa. She's gonna have potential shortened names and stuff, but she's gonna have a motorcycle, and she's gonna have a buggy dog, and it's her buggy dog. Her most powerful card. Most powerful card in all of Duel Monsters, Buggy Dog, and Banner of Unity. I don't know. I don't know who I'm gonna give Banner of Unity to. Maybe her. I don't know. Maybe because there's like a desolate wasteland in the background. Maybe I will give it to her. I don't know. Maybe the Ugandan cards can get on. Never mind. We're not following that train of thought. Doesn't it have 1,600 attack points? It does not. It's the most powerful card in all of Duel Monsters, though. Look at it. Look at how strong it is. It's a 4-star 1,200. That's so crazy. Oh my god, I really love the. I know it doesn't have like any like actual like mesh or anything on it right now, but I really do love the dual disc he made. So cool. If she gets its spirit ability, she gets to commit one murder without any consequence. Pico, everyone thinks they're gonna be a badass who is a pro duelist, and I'm dying. Yeah, you're gonna be a fucking. Look at your duel runner. Obviously, you're gonna be a badass pro duelist. Look at you. This probably isn't even your duel runner. It's just the one we got. But you know, here it is. Oh, Lindo did such a good job on it. It's so cool. But yeah, the main idea is just I need to finish all these, move them all over into having the new card backs, and basically just get everything ready for the game. It's just busy work from here on out. I don't have to do anything. It's all the artists that have to do shit. I don't got to do shit anymore. Um, I'm probably gonna have to grab Lindo at some point and drop a big thing of like, hey, you're only working on this for a bit because I need a whole bunch of NPCs. Um, but I assume they're a cinnamon roll, Squeaky. How dare, Squeaky? Are you gonna be a cinnamon roll? Is that what's gonna happen? I need to get Squeaky to make me a card because I'm wanting everybody to make some cards. I need Squeaky to make me one. No, I only play horse. I don't know, man. Polo tried to hold Gallon's hand before marriage. You know if you need anything on my end too. I mean, at this point, you're working on something pretty cool from what I'm reading into. It seems like you're gonna be working on something pretty cool. If you ever wanted to make me anything, I'm wanting to work with anybody. I want to throw everything in. Kerbozy, you have been a humongous help as so far with some of the designs you've been giving me. How lewd of Polo. I know, right? So heckin' lewd. come on. Try to chill, girl. Oh god. Emerald put what his dual runner would look like if he was in game. It's a fucking... What is that, Emerald? Emerald, what the fuck is that? Oh my god, if you guys aren't on the Discord, go to the Discord link below and go to the stream chat. Oh my god. Someone wanted to know what happened to my character. That's true. As we all know, Emerald is in every single one of the games. His character just dies before the game starts. You see, what happened was, and then we show that video. A car crash! A car crash kill Emerald Stag! Because he wasn't wearing a helmet. The safety protocols on his dual runner got turned off. Dual runner engaged. Safety protocols non-existent. Then he goes skidding off the road. See, going fast made him feel alive, but it wasn't, you know, feeling in actuality as Deers interacting with wheels are always bad news. That's not too far-fetched as far as Door Runner goes, where there's a guy on a series who had something like that, though not quite a car. I do want to, like freaking throw in, like, some sidecars or something. Because I do know that there was a duelist that, like, he was a tag duelist, but, like, he had a sidecar, and, like, his friend was in the sidecar, and then, like, his friend fucking died. Except, you know, in the actual dub, he didn't die. He was just mad. His heartbeat in hyperdrive. It was a heart attack. My heart beats in hyperdrive. Help! Oh man. Oh my god, that freaking the bike. That's funny. Oh man. There's not a ton that I can really show you guys in, left. There are obviously the things I've already shown you guys. But there isn't a ton of new stuff that I'm going to be able to show you guys right now. A lot of the new stuff that I have is kind of spoilery, I guess, is the biggest thing with it. So I can't really go into too many things there. One thing that I'm wanting to go into next is I'm wanting to have Lindo probably make me the satellite map. So, like, the map of the overhead of, like, the area. Whenever I'm done with that, I'll probably show you guys. That's not going to be something that's going to be too spoilery. I may end up having some other, like, little, like, backgrounds and maps, like, brought into thing if people think they can make them. I saw FOML recently do that Alan's room thing, and that might be pretty cool to see if FOML can make me some other cool backgrounds. That'd be pretty fun. But as of right now, there isn't really a ton left. I have more things, and I feel I'm actually looking through these stuff right now to see if there's anything that I can show you guys that won't be bad, you know? But honestly, I can't. Da, 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 da. I have some other cards, but you guys have already seen them. I have alternate arts for cards, but again, you guys have already seen them. Yeah, there's nothing else that I can really show you guys. I'm really sorry. The only other thing that's left, I guess, is to get the thing in here. Da, da, da. Ba, 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 ba. Just, you know, little 5DARPS little logo there. I like it. It has like the little white parts here, but like they shouldn't be there. That should be completely empty. I don't know why it's not letting me have it be empty, but that's fine. But yeah. I like our little logo. It's really neat. We based it off of not only the Duel Academy logo from the original, because you can see the DA here. We based it off of the original GX Duel Academy logo, but we also based it off of the 5D's team's logo with like the little like wing and stuff like going over. I thought that was really cool. So it's like the 5 and then like the DARPS. Imagine throwing dice. Probably didn't clear out the spaces correctly. It's just how the stuff here works. Because if you take like something like this here, like you'll note the center here is actually gone. The center there is actually gone. It's just the room doesn't want to show it being gone. It's just how they do things sometimes whenever there's like sharp edges and stuff. Revolutions per second. we need to see how things are going to go here. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are going to be looking forward to it. Whenever I have some new stuff to show, I'll probably throw them on the Patreon at some point, and I'll let you guys see them then. At which point, after I get enough things there, I'll probably do another stream like this and show off everything we put there. So you'll be able to see them sooner there, but you know, I'll probably show everything off before the game actually happens. I think that once we get the map, especially, that'll go up. And if we get some more cards, those will go up. And if you guys need any of the things, like I have the background here, like the actual duel map that I made. I have the PSD for it. I'm probably gonna drop it into the I'm probably gonna drop this into the actual what's the word? I'm probably gonna drop this into the actual like character creating chat we have in the Discord, the OC workshop. I also have the thing for this, the PSD for this thing. I have all the card backs and things. We'll probably put all those things there. This isn't complete. The actual like card back thing here isn't complete, but I can drop this into the OC workshop as well if anybody wants to use it or like mess around with anything. But yeah, we can mess around with some stuff. I want some new coins. That's what I really want. I want to see if I can get FOML or somebody to make me some coins, because these give me a freaking DARP coin. I don't know. But yeah, we'll probably have some more times to do some other things. Who will tell them that every card has to be played? If Tess isn't here, we'll have to find someone. Maybe it'll be Witty Phantom. An egg coin. There we go. Just one side has a hat and the other side has a butt. But yeah, we'll definitely show more stuff later whenever more stuff happens. But we'll see. We'll see. The continuation of Staffordshire altogether. One side has hat, the other side has glasses. There we go. That's perfect. To show the evil, because all evil people wear glasses. That's just how it works. I'm checking something really quick. Click. Uh, yeah, I don't see anything else going on. No one seems to be doing anything, so I think that going to another tabletop person will probably be good. I think we're gonna be done for the night, my dudes. Unless there's any other questions you guys have about any of the stuff we've gone over so far, or if you guys have any other questions about anything else, we could probably hang around for a little bit longer if that's the case. But I think I've reached the end of basically what I wanted to do. I didn't make a single dent in the work I have to do, but that's just that's just par for the course. Who wants to do work? Not this guy, not me. Good night. Head I smash, tails I don't smash. But yeah, does anybody have any questions about things going on? Is it a continuation or is it a separate thing altogether? All right. So let's do this. Let's make this as best as I can because we get that question a lot. All right. Here's our line. Here is the 5D's timeline. Here is 5DARPS. Here is 5DARPS right here. Whenever Tess from the old game, basically the main NPC character, was going, it was about 30 years before 5DARPS would be taking place. Tess had a bunch of bad stuff happen, and Tess didn't like being where Tess was. So Tess ended up going back in time, thanks to the Crimson Dragon, to the DARP timeline. However, the DARP timeline played out basically just how everything went down and went all the way over to Tess, right? This is all the same like line. So what Tess actually did was she went to a separate DARP timeline entirely because she then started affecting it. So Tess started affecting this timeline, and as such, she made an entirely different thing. And at the end of the game, she was offered to either return to her own future or stay in the DARP timeline. She ended up staying in the DARP timeline, so this entire timeline, the DARP timeline, is completely separate. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing this timeline, the one that Tess left, and the one that now does not have a Crimson Dragon or a Tess. We're doing this. We're doing the original timeline, whereas the DARP timeline would have completely gone in a separate direction into ZARP. I don't fucking know, man. ZARP. XDARP. DARP Dark 7. DARP V. No. DARP VR. Whichever one we end up doing after this. It's either ZARPS, DARP 7, DARP V, or DARP VR. I don't know, man. Maybe it's DARP R. Whatever comes at the end of this timeline. But we're doing the original timeline. So no Tess, no Crimson Dragon, no Spirit World, because the Spirit World was taken away. Like, all of the stuff that Tess did took everything away from this world. And this world was already kind of fucked. Because about 100 years before DARP, some bad shit happened. And bad things happened to this world. So yeah. Re-DARP. We're not dropping. There's no dropping anything. What are you talking about, Anthony? You're talking about sacrilegious shit. I've kicked people out of games for. I've kicked people out of games for worse, man. You think it's too late to save Emerald's character? I'll do it. You'll be the one who had their brakes cut. That's what happened to Emerald's character. His brakes got cut, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, if this is a complete mess, but the actual thing we'll be doing as far as 5DARPS is concerned is we are doing the original timeline that was here. The one that does not have a test, does not have a Crimson Dragon, anything like that. Not affected by anything down here. Nothing that happened in DARP, nothing that happened in DARP or vice versa will affect each other. They are two completely separate things now. You know, do you guys get it? It's very easy thing. I don't expect you guys don't get it. I just want to make sure that like I'm explaining it okay. They're completely separate, but they are the same, you know? Yes, but no, basically. Yes, but no. Because we've seen this world. This is the world we've heard about, so technically it's something that was established back in DARP, but it is a completely different timeline from the DARP we know. First mission, who cut Emerald's brakes? Bring that person to justice. Dude, first mission, I should have one of the gangs just talking about like how like their runner, their guy just fucking died one day because their brakes were cut, and like have like a complete like gang war thing happening because Emerald's non-existent character was fucking killed. Have that just be like a little side quest. We're gonna get another cameo like how Squeaky was during DARP? Probably not. Probably not. When it came to DARP, there were only the 4 people in it. So I was a lot more into the idea of having people kind of jump in or do other things. But with this game, we have 5. So like adding in a 6th to be kind of weird. We have 6 people in Zelda, and Zelda works pretty well. So maybe I would throw like a cameo person in for a little bit. Maybe I'd throw like a guest character in for a little bit. I don't think I will, because it's already kind of going to be hard enough to go through everything. Zelda works well, exactly. Zelda's works pretty well. Keanu drops in. He's on vacay. Keanu's dad shows up. That's where he went. Yeah. She was basically just kind of there with a character. It wasn't really even that big of a thing. Yeah. But yeah, probably not is what I'll say, but I'm not going to say I'm not going to put anything like that in. Who knows? Is there any other questions before we end things off today, guys? Because I am perfectly willing to answer anything that is going down that I feel is enough that I can answer to not spoil anything. That was a hard thing to get out. What does Pot Agreed do? Lets you draw 2 cards. How many donations have you already gotten? I've gotten $30 today. No donations for 5DARPS will be taken quite yet, but I did get $30 today from Yao because Yao is amazing and he gave me $30. I'm gonna use that to eat after game today because I actually have not eaten today. So the card that stacks Thriller right, if you destroy the top card with the magic face, that's what happens to the stack. If you destroy the card, then the cards all go. They're all still considered one card. So if you destroy any of the Thriller Knight cards, then the entire thing is destroyed. However, the Thriller Knight cards do have things to protect themselves. So like this one, it says, if this card will be destroyed by a card effect, you may send another spell card from your hand or in your side of the field to the graveyard instead. So they do have certain ways of defending themselves. So as long as Thriller Knight is actually on the stack, you can do that effect to stop it from being destroyed. Will ban cards that Pot be limited here? When it came to ban cards, unless I specifically ban them, then they're not going to be banned, but they will be limited in some way, shape, or form. I'm not sure if we're going to go based off of an old forbidden list or a new forbidden list. We'll have to see. But when it comes to ban cards, I'll let them know if they're you can only put one or not in. I'll let them know before anything happens. So like one Thriller Knight can get rid of one's lower on the stack? No. Basically, when it comes to Thriller Knight, like I mentioned before, there are going to be several different cards that consider themselves Thriller Knight. When you stack them up, they're all just going to be considered one card. So if you destroy that one card, all of them are gone. But Thriller Knight here has an ability to stop it from being destroyed, so it would be able to stop its destruction, and its stack's destruction, basically. Because again, all of those cards would be considered one card at that point. Are you looking forward to Porps as much as we are? Oh my god, Porps. Looking forward to VARP. Alrighty. Guys, I had a lot of fun today. I hope that we can have a couple of more streams like this where we kind of go over some things, and hopefully next time we will be able to talk about a little bit more, a few more cards, a few new things. You know what? If someone's whole career does deck dyslexia. One of them. What is on targeted Thriller Knight and remove the baddest all parts of. Basically, again, like they're all gonna have their own effects. So some things can get rid of it. Obviously, if the card couldn't be got rid of, then it would be too broken of a card. This effect here is if this card would be destroyed by a thing, you have to get rid of cards. So there's a cost associated with it. Nobleman of Crossout could get rid of things. You could get rid of it from the hand. You could get rid of it like different ways. Like there are ways to get rid of it. I'm probably going to have at least one of the monsters, though, or one of the cards, be able to search a Thriller Knight from your graveyard, though. Like, there are going to be ways to get it back as well, because a lot of the archetype is going to kind of revolve around the Thriller Knight cards. Like, banished all copies. They're only considered Thriller Knight when they're in your hand or on the field. They're not considered Thriller Knight when they're in your deck. Because if they did that, then it'd be kind of like the Harpy Lady situation, where you can only have 3 of them in a deck, you know? That's why they're only considered Thriller Knight when they're on the field or in the hand. Yeah, you could definitely, again, do it, but that wouldn't get rid of any from the deck, though, is what I'm saying. You think that the thirst factor in the game is going to be higher or lower than DARP? There are going to be the same people that are in NetNavi in this game. So probably higher. If they're in the graveyard, they are probably... man, that actually is a good point. If they're in the graveyard, they're going to be considered Thriller Knights. I'm going to say probably no. I'm going to say if they're in the graveyard, they're not going to be considered Thriller Knight. But I may end up at that point giving a really strong effect to another, to one of the Thriller Knight cards. Because if that's the case, then what if I made a Thriller Knight card? Again, this is just me spitballing now. If I don't make them be considered Thriller Knight in the graveyard, then what if I made a other card that just searches field spells in the graveyard? Because then you could use it for Thriller Knight, but also if somebody else got their hand on it, they could use it for other archetypes and just make it a strong kind of staple card in general. That might be what I end up doing. So I'm probably only gonna make it be where they're considered Thriller Knight while they're in the hand on the field, not in the graveyard, and not in the deck. But again, we'll have to see how things go. They're always one of the best parts about being in charge. One of the best parts about being the dungeon master is if things do end up going crazy, I can always just change it later. You know, I can always just end up taking this card and just changing the way the text kind of works for other things. How monstrous will the Chimera archetype get? Well, right now we only have the one. But when it comes to these, they're all gonna be ritual cards. I've already told you guys that ritual cards are gonna be extra deck cards in my game. So all the ritual cards are gonna be in the extra deck. They're not gonna be in the actual deck. But all ritual cards are gonna have other like you're gonna have to have basically changes to them at that point. Like some of them are gonna have certain like things that are needed to bring them out from then on. So like Trihorn Dragon, you're gonna need this card, the Curse of Trihorn Dragon, but you're also gonna need like the Dragon Essence Vial, basically. So there are gonna be some nerfs and some benefits to the fact of moving them over to the extra deck. But I'm pretty sure that Ritual is gonna be a pretty strong archetype. There's gonna be a lot of really strong rituals because of that small change. And that's for a reason. I have other ideas for rituals other than just the Chimera archetype. Is there gonna be a Nina Chimera card? You know I need to. Like, Cyan, you know I need to fucking put some fucking FMA reference in there somewhere. Continue a spell called Big Brother. I could just like put in like a just a small girl, like a small like cute girl, and just have its effect to be summoning out essence vials. So like maybe like whenever it's sent to the graveyard, you get a random essence vial onto your field. Or like maybe it's like specifically a beast essence vial. Oh no. Look, I know the perfect art for the Nina Chimera spell card. Komodo Dragon Chimera made bigger and look stupider. Oh no. Extra brains from its 2 more brain cells. Picture little girl Chimera ingredient number 1. That's just what it's called. That's just the card is called Chimera ingredient number 1. I'm more in the art direction, but you can't really control that, can you? I don't really control that. Yeah. Mostly a lot of these cards are going to be made by other people, and then I'm going to try to work them into other things. Because a lot of the artists are going to be actually playing in the game. At least a fair few of them will be. So I can't tell them what the cards are going to do or what the cards are going to be like. I basically have to take whatever I can from them and decide whether or not I need to use them or not. When it comes to Fomal and Will in particular, and Squeaky if she ever gives me anything, they're going to be very hard to work on things with. I've actually told them in particular to work on different people's cards, not their own. So if they give me ideas for other people's stuff, that's what I'm going to end up kind of doing. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of humongous ideas on how monstrous they'll end up being. It really depends on whoever I get to do the stuff for them. But yeah, I may end up just taking a lot of old cards and turning them into chimeras if things end up going strange enough. These cards in particular are going to be hard to work with because the one that I usually get to do big monstrous stuff is Will. And he's kind of the one that gets the Chimera archetype, so that's gonna be super hard when it comes to art stuff. Are there any more questions, my dudes? Because again, I'm basically an open book here. I don't, as long as it's something that I don't think is going to affect your guys' viewing experience. I'll basically answer anything. Like I can't tell you anything about the plot. But I could tell you things about the setup. I can't tell you guys things about the player characters, because I know about them and you guys don't. That's the big thing. I want them to kind of be a bit of a surprise. Um, I can't show too many of the other arts that I have because they're all kind of spoilery for different card mechanics and for different other things with cards. Um, but I can still answer some things. Will there be fusion cards? Yes, there will be. There will be fusions. I think Anthony in particular is going to have a lot of fusions. And Lindo is currently working on a fusion redraw for one of the fusion monsters that he's going to be using. So Lindo's actually redrawing a card for me because it has super old art, and I want it to have a little bit more oomph to it. Put all your cards somewhere just in case a friend wants to borrow them. Hell yeah. Da, 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 da. I will probably end up, whenever the game happens, I'll probably end up uploading all of the different arts and things we use for the cards into like a either the DARP chat or a different chat. I don't know though. Well, they'll probably be somewhere. We might make like a master post or something somewhere. Sometimes I wonder if my dog doesn't want to open the door because he's scared of the door or because he wants me to get up. Yao gave us $15 more. Yao! What are you trying to give me money for? Come on. I already said I was going to be going and getting some food. You don't have to give me more. Thank you very much, though. I appreciate it. Very big excite. I'm also very big excite. I'm very happy that I get to talk more about it because for a couple of months there, it was so hard to keep this from you guys. People actually accidentally said some things in some of the chats. So like I was sitting there like take my money, I got paid. Thank you very much, my dude. Much appreciated. Is that something you can tell us? A very broad general description of player archetypes. Very broad description of player archetypes. Let's go down here to these little things here. As you can see, I have an orb here for everyone involved in the game. So, Will, a very broad archetype for Will on the orange thing, is Will is going to be making kind of going ritual and chimera. I don't want to talk too much about what chimeras are, what they can do, and anything else, but he is going to be using rituals and some ways to summon them specially from the thing. So that is going to be Will. Will is going to be a ritual player. When it comes to Squeaky is going to be focusing somewhat on turbo dueling to an extent. Because she's gonna potentially have like the bike, but she can also do regular dueling. She's gonna have beasts and beast warriors, mostly based off of the Beast Gear World archetype. And she's gonna have some very special spirity powers that go with stuff like that. I'm not gonna say too much else. Fomel is going to be doing the Thriller Knight archetype. Fomel is going to have a lot of stuff to do with zombies, fiends, beasts, things like that. And she's going to kind of have the field spell kind of thing down. Maybe even just kind of focusing on tribute summoning or advanced summoning, however you guys want to call it. That's going to be kind of her. Anthony, I need to find... I don't have one. Just, let me get a thing. I need a thing really quick. Hold on. We'll take Monica. Come here, Monica. I need you for a second. I need you for a second, Monica. Hold on. There we go. Anthony is going to be about fusion monsters, very specific types of fusion monsters that are summoned in specific ways. He can also fusion summon them in other ways, obviously. But he is going to be doing some fusion monster stuff. And Jake is going to be doing things with equip spells and things like that. He's gonna have some equip spell stuff as well as some very unique effects on some of his cards. But it's gonna be kind of sorcerer or kind of yeah, kind of like magician, sorcerer, um, and thief esque, not like thief, but like equip spells basically. Just kind of like throwing equip spells on people and kind of getting that going. Every one of them at some level will probably have a synchro of some type. It's 5Ds. Synchros are a thing. So each of them will probably have some sort of synchros at some point or another. Um, so that is where we're kind of going with that. And one of the best parts about the entire thing, and this is something that I do feel like I can let you guys know, a little bit kind of neat kind of thing. Every one of them, on some level, has ways to really aid in tag dueling. Because again, I wanted tag dueling to be like a big thing in this game. Um, a lot of the ways that I'm hoping to build them is that they have the archetypes that I'm giving them are able to work easily enough with other archetypes and with other and with other things. That's why when it comes to like Thriller Knight, they have so many different things they can do, as well as they can increase beast type and like other types like that. So because Thriller Knight increases the attack of beast types and other things are beast in there, that would really potentially work with Squeaky's things, who has some beasts and beast warriors, but it could also work with the Chimera monsters, who could also, some of them, be beasts. You know what I mean? Same thing with like the fusions. The fusions have like different attributes and stuff that he can probably use with all of their attributes, especially Will's, to actually create his fusions a little bit better. Jake's equip spells can go into basically everything. A lot of his spells are going to be able to change the attributes or types of things, things like that. So like, there's going to be a lot of overlay with a bunch of these guys, because like I want them each to be able to do some pretty cool things as far as tag duels are concerned, because tag duels are going to be a pretty big thing. Like they're going to be like hopefully 1/3 of the duels. So um and again, it's tag duels could mean regular tag master duels or potentially tag turbo duels. But that's only if somebody wants to trust somebody to get into a sidecar. I hear that's how Emerald died. I don't know. Emerald died somehow. But yeah, I could definitely answer that question. That's a very good question about people's archetypes and stuff. Is there any other questions? How is Thriller Knight going to work in turbo duels? Very badly. Very badly is Thriller Knight going to work in turbo duels. One thing that I'm telling you guys right now, just because these are the decks that they're going to be having, that does not mean that's the only decks they're going to have. If FOMO wants to play turbo duels, she is going to have to get another deck. Because, as you know, field spells do not work in turbo duels. If FOMO is going to play turbo duels, she needs to get another deck. Because a lot of her stuff is going to be kind of using field spells. Yeah, it's kind of like how I'm guessing everyone's going to have at least like 2 to 3 decks, so it's not going to be that big of a deal. Because a lot of Anthony's deck's going to have quite a few field spells as well, so he'll probably need to get another deck to work with that. There are some exceptions, obviously, Double Dog. But yeah, that's the kind of big thing with that is they're gonna have other decks. Um, when it comes to like Squeaky, I'm guessing that her deck is gonna be mainly the same throughout most of everything, because Squeaky, out of everyone, is the least like interested in actually playing the card game. So she'll probably have a similar deck throughout, but hopefully hers will have enough quirks that people will really like it. But the rest of them may end up having like 2 to 3 different decks. She may end up having 2 to 3 different decks. I don't know. I don't know how she wants to go. I'm hoping that they have new things though. For example, that slot machine deck I was talking about earlier, like if they wanted to, if people wanted to go into doing machines, I could do that. Um, I thought about making like a golem type of deck, so maybe like if Will doesn't want to go all chimeras at one point, like we could make like his second deck be like about golems and stuff. Things like that. Maximum summoning is something from sevens. They probably won't have that. It works really well in sevens. It would not work very well in regular play. Who's to say what exactly may come from different things? But yeah, none of the current ways of doing things would allow for those to really be viable. I'd have to change up quite a bit if I was to use stuff like that. What does forces that keep playing for the sake of the universe? Hmm? They will play for the sake of all everyone. They're the heroes, of course. Meh, I don't know. But yeah, anything else, my dudes? And again, we're probably gonna have more of these streams before the actual game happens. So I'm perfectly fine answering questions then as well. Um, Maybe even again showing more stuff off later. Um, I know that some people end up liking going back through these streams and like adding stuff to the wiki and things like that for like different things I say. Sometimes, so like I'm sorry that I don't have anything kind of in the same thing, but do you take her deck or keep forcing her to play? Oh no, I wouldn't take anyone's deck. Um, I'm not gonna. Well, depends on things that happen in the game, but I'm not going to just force Squeaky to use another deck if she doesn't want to. If she all of a sudden like goes to like a fucking dueling next to a volcano and trips and her deck falls into the volcano, that's entirely on her. I don't why are you dueling near a volcano. Unless something in character happens, I'm not going to take anyone's deck. I'm not gonna say that it's something that could not happen. Like somebody could put like pickpocket them or anything like that. I'm not gonna say that something like that couldn't happen, but I do not have any plans to steal anyone's deck right now, as far as the main plot is concerned. Um, but who knows? Maybe something like that will happen in the main plot. Because like I told you guys, the way that I usually do um my plots is that I make a skeleton of like the main arc, arc of the game, and every single week, depending on what happened in the week before, I fill in the gaps in the skeleton. Like I'm like how do I get them from this point to this point? So even though I do say that I have the entire plot made, it's mostly just I have the skeleton of it. I have the overarching plot, and getting them from point A to point B is what I have to do as we continue to go through the game. That's basically how most DMs play it. It really is just going to depend on what they end up doing. Card cases are your friends. Ba-ba. Anything else, my dudes? I love our little makeshift fusion monster we have over here. It is the best. I play this card face down. What could it be? Monica has a lot of hacking your girlfriend. Listen, listen. I love. What do you need to fuse Monica? Oh, it's just Monica. It's fine. She's the fusion of the other girls. How do you fuse Monica? I don't know, man. We'll have to figure that out. Kerbozy, let's get on it. I'm kidding. All right. I think that that is gonna be it then. Um, da, da, da. Who knows, man. I think that's gonna be it, my dudes. If you guys aren't already over at the Discord, be sure to go into the Discord and hang out there with us. There's an entire chat for 5DARP stuff. If you guys ask me any questions there, I may end up answering them there as well. Again, we'll probably come back for some other stuff later on. Have a rough draft card for you soon. Kerbozy, no! I mean, yes. I mean, no. I mean, Monica. I mean, I'm so confused. And, do I want it or do I not? Anyway. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. We enjoy ourselves. Any questions, comments below. We'll probably have more things to say probably next week. Maybe we'll do like a bit of a weekly or bi-weekly stream of this to kind of let you guys know how far we're coming. And maybe I'll show off one of the booster packs at one point that I end up making with all these cards, plus the new cards we have. Or maybe I'll end up showing off the starter decks that I make for people. We'll see. But until next time, guys, I hope you guys know I enjoy myself. Any questions, comments, below. Checking one more time. Yeah. Hope everybody enjoyed themselves. And until next time, guys, like always, later days. Bye-bye.